there we go. I just showed up on Periscope. Yesterday, I had been in the Schnitzel box on all platforms. I wasn't on Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, Twitch. I was here on Haps though, and so my lovely Haps supporters were here supporting me. I appreciate you guys. If you guys are watching the replay, be sure to put replay, #replay in the chat box so I can seek you out. And please drop your name in the chat as well so I can say hello. I appreciate you guys. Hey, Ed, welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for being here. So today, again, if you, by the way, if you guys have not hit the share button, if you are not following me here on Haps, if you guys are not over here on Haps, come on over, Haps. .tv/invite/ Vicky Fitch, VICKIFITCH. Come on over and join us here where you can see the chat from all 9 platforms we're streaming on. Inside here, and then make sure you subscribe to the channel, whatever other platform you're on. Please subscribe to there as well. But make sure you come over here because again, I'm in the Schnitzel box a lot. And when I'm in the Schnitzel box, you don't even know I'm on unless you're looking for me. So typically at 6 p.m. Pacific, I am right here broadcasting live to update, inundate you on all the stuff that's going on in the world today, including attitudes, concepts, treating people with dignity and respect. Of course, today, more mask madness that we're going to be talking about. And we want to talk about the hashtag of Stop the Insanity. All right. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the world today. You guys know the CDC came out with new mask mandates, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm walking, or not walking today. I was actually driving down the street with my husband, and there was this couple walking their dogs. There's no one from 100 feet any direction from them, and they're wearing their masks outside on a beautiful day. Now, I did realize the other day when Terry and I were riding our bikes and it was dusk and the amount of bugs, I can see a desire for one of those clear shields while you're riding a bicycle because they got these little gnat things got stuck in my lip gloss, eyeballs, nose, eyes, everything. Redamore, welcome. It's great to see you, sweetheart. So I can totally understand why people might consider wearing a plastic shield while you're riding your bicycle. Anyway, but we have to talk about the masks and why people are wearing them when they're walking outside in the sun. Why people are wearing them when there's no one else around them, when no one's even near them. So at least, the recent guidelines from the CDC have recommended that people can start to take advantage of that opportunity, although I don't know why they weren't before. We want to identify that and start helping other people get the message because most people are not reading the CDC guidelines. They're not there checking out the site, figuring out what's happening. And so they're not even aware when they change things. Like, of course, here in California, our lovely mayor of LA, Mr. Garcetti, told people they had to wear masks outside everywhere, no matter where they went, which was, again, just a teeny bit of insanity, but it was there anyway. Retta says, it is not madness. The CDC just reported that now you can take off your mask with friends in the park or alone outside. It is madness, though, Retta. Think about it. There was never, we're going to talk about this. I'm going to put the information up from the CDC in a second, but it is madness because we never should have had to wear a mask in a park alone. I mean, the virus is not jumping from trees onto people. So that was insane already. And it's already difficult. When breathing in your own carbon dioxide has never been a good thing. We always know we're looking for fresh air. I mean, people, I can breathe the fresh air. Well, we always should have been able to breathe fresh air. Just say no. Not sure who wrote that, but thank you. New York and California, take them off when you are alone in a park or public. Well, again, Retta, I'm again of a different mindset than you, but of course, in this particular regard, I never understood even for a minute why people would wear masks outdoor alone or in your car alone. I don't get that either. I think, again, I do think sometimes people are forgetting and they walk out of something and they probably still have them on and then realize that they, just took that 3-hour drive home. If you're in California, the traffic's so bad. They take that drive home and they've been, inhaling their own carbon dioxide, and that's not healthy, guys. I think we know that. And there's many doctors, including Dr. Adam Nally, who is a friend of the show, a friend of mine personally, that has written about that, written articles about it on his website, reminding people what is happening, what we're doing to ourselves when we wear those all the time. Okay, so here, let me put this up really quick. So this, in case you didn't see it, this is the new CDC mask guidance information. Fully vaccinated people, by the way. Now see, again, let's talk about that for a second. If you're not fully vaccinated, you should still be able to walk outside alone without a mask on. Again, that's insanity. That's crazy town if we're telling people to wear masks when they're alone outside. I mean, this has never been an airborne thing that's been, attacking people and flying through the air like a, I don't know. But you guys get the point. Sorry to say, but I never think if I wear a mask because of political views, masks became political. I don't understand, Retta. Sorry to say, but I never think if I wear a mask because of political views, masks became political. I don't understand, Retta. I'm sorry. Maybe I just not understanding what you're saying there. EO Joe modeled how to put one on and take it off at a presser today. Bless his heart. Yeah, didn't you okay, Retta, even you, didn't you think it was ridiculous virtue signaling for EO Joe to be in a summit in a room by himself, and then later he was in the room with other people, but they were still 6 feet apart. He wasn't wearing a mask while he was in the room with the people that he was 6 feet apart from, but he was wearing a mask while he was all alone on Zoom with these people. And the world was laughing because it's insane and it's ridiculous and it's virtue signaling. Now, it's possible, especially because I don't think he remembers everything of what he's doing. And like I said, we were just talked about people maybe forgetting and wearing something, while they're, going about their day. But we have to think about it. And the president of the United States absolutely needs to think about it. But here's the new CDC guidelines just for fully vaccinated people, mind you. Walking, running, hiking, or biking alone or with members of your household. Fully vaccinated people. Now we're still telling them, okay, now if you're alone or with members of your household, you can walk, run, hike, or bike without a mask. Can anyone see the problem there? First of all, anybody unvaccinated should be able to do that. A fully vaccinated person, now they're adding in that we're allowed to run without a mask on. I mean, come on, guys, wake up. This, like I said, this is crazy. This is crazy town. Attending small outdoor gatherings with fully vaccinated family and friends. So now, even though you're fully vaccinated, you're only supposed to go without a mask around all fully vaccinated people. Well, it's not a vaccine if you can get it from other people. When people have the chickenpox, they've had chickenpox or they've had the chickenpox vaccine, they don't have to worry if their kids have chickenpox because they can't get chickenpox because that's what a vaccine does. It prevents us from getting the disease. So this is not a vaccine. We already know that it's experimental, but it's obviously not even close to a vaccine if you're telling people that they can't be around other people that aren't vaccinated, even if they're not sick. Come on. Please, guys, please. Let's talk about this. And like I said, it doesn't make any sense. This is not something that it's forming on the trees. It's not, we should be able to breathe fresh air. And if we have really been conditioned to believe we can only breathe fresh air when we're alone or with someone else who's been vaccinated, when we are hiking, walking, running, or biking, we've lost our minds. I mean, seriously, we've lost our minds. Attending a small outdoor gathering with a mix of vaccinated and unvaccinated people. So you're allowed to wear it when you're alone or with a member of your household walking, running, hiking, or biking. But you're allowed to go without it when you're attending a small outdoor gathering with a mix of vaccinated and unvaccinated people. So help me understand how that even makes sense. I can only do it with another member of my household when I'm walking, running, hiking, or biking. But if I happen to, where I'm actually exerting a lot of energy, breathing heavier, and it requires more oxygen intake and deeper breaths. But when I'm attending a small outdoor gathering with a mix of vaccinated and unvaccinated people, it's still okay for me not to wear a mask, right? Anybody else find that to be peculiar? Like even a little? Dining outdoors with friends from multiple households. Okay, so I'm allowed to dine outdoor with friends from multiple households, right? Without wearing a mask. but only if I'm with a member of my family can I walk, run, hike, or bike. I mean, again, I'm not even going to keep repeating it because it's insane. That's ridiculous. Those are ridiculous guidelines. They don't even make sense. Well, you can be with people that are vaccinated or unvaccinated as long as they're in your household while you're doing really exerting activities, but non exerting activities you can do with other people. Again, wake up. That's what I want to say to you all. Wake up and start thinking for yourself, asking really good questions. That doesn't make sense. And even my dear friend Retta, do you think that makes sense, Retta? I mean, help me understand if you do. Okay, wearing masks became a political thing. Yes, it did, Retta. Yes, I saw the president wearing a mask in the Zoom. And Retta is so sweet that he stays very non-controversial, non-controversial. He's not going to, pick that side. And I totally respect that. I really do. I think it was virtue signaling or he forgot that he's wearing a mask. I don't know. But then later, did you guys see him go off like the rambling man talking about sending his wife back from the Indian tribal lands? Did you guys see that? Put a 2 in the chat box if you saw that. That was just plain embarrassing. I mean, it was absolutely embarrassing. I know you could tell he kept rambling to see if he could make sense of it. And I mean, no one knew what he was saying. That was embarrassing. Again, the the leader of the free world. I think he only needed to make it to the 100-day mark. I don't know how much longer he's going to make it because that was just not. Yeah, that was whoops. Oh, I was not trying to put that up yet. Sorry. I'm working on my mad skills here on House. Okay, let's see. Um, and where was our flag behind him? Ed, great question. Great question. Like, great question. Ed said black, white, gay, straight, Democrat, Republican, vaccinated, unvaccinated, divide and conquer. I have to say that I can't disagree with that. I do feel like we're in this divide and conquer mode that that they're trying to virtue signal and get people angry at each other. I read different things. Remember, if you guys were here, put a 3 in the chat box if you were here yesterday. And by the way, if you guys are not over here on Haps, feel free to come and join us here so you can see the chat from all the participants. And if you're not, whatever platform you're on, please make sure that you hit the follow button and the live notifications button so you know when I go live, which is typically every day at 6 p.m. Pacific. Yesterday, we talked about the George Floyd Square and where they have these instructions outside for white people, which are insulting and demeaning and outrageous because they're racist. It's racist. We could never say black people, here's the directions for you. That's racist. That's exactly what happened in old Jim Crow laws, where people were segregated and treated differently. And now that's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to resegregate, but they're trying to take now instead of that bigotry, right, and the attacks being against black people, they're trying to turn them against white people. Why are we turning them against any people? We're all part of the same race. We're all part of the human race, and yet people are treating us like we are dogs with treats. That if you do the right thing, come here, I'm going to give you this treat. And if you don't do the right thing, we're going to hit you with the newspaper and send you off into the corner. So we have to step up, stand out, and speak. We've got to come together as a community and deal with this stuff that's going on. Now, I want to talk some more about the CDC, and then I want to get back to a community thing and what it means to be part of a community, because there was something I shared earlier that was absolutely horrendous, and my heart still hurts from watching it. It hurts, but we have to talk about it so we know how to behave. We know how to step up, stand out, and speak, even if it's uncomfortable. Without getting into a fight with another person, we can still comfort the people that are being hurt. Retta says Mr. President today gave a CDC update, and NBC Peter Alexander asked Joe, "What message were you sending by wearing a mask outside alone?" Joe answered, "Now watch me take it off and not put it back on till I get inside." Okay. Well, thank you. I want to say thank you, Grandpa. Good job. Good job. But he doesn't answer the questions. He just goes on to something else. So that's good, I guess. I mean, I don't even know what to say. And did he do a survey and say, excuse me, wait a minute, by the CDC guidelines, I'm outside with you. I need to know if you're a vaccinated individual or are you going to get that tattooed on your forehead? I'm vaccinated, just like people are doing other things. Say, it's tattooed on my forehead. Oh, you're vaccinated. I'm allowed to be around you. Does that remind you of a Dr. Seuss book? Because it should remind you of a Dr. Seuss book. And it should remind us that we all need to be treated the same with dignity and respect. And, we're not going through the CDC. Wait, oh, excuse me. Wait, I'm biking and you are unvaccinated. Sorry, can't do it. Even if you ride your bike 10 feet away, I'm sorry, it just can't happen. It's not part of the CDC guidelines. Melanie, hello from Pittsburgh. Welcome. Tomorrow's the address to Congress. You go live at 9 p.m. That is prime time. Maybe go live after the speech. That's a good idea, Retta. Maybe I won't go live tomorrow because I definitely don't want to. I don't want the world to miss out on that. And I don't want to miss out on any good content. And Retta, forgive me. I'm feeling a little punchy today. As you already know how I feel about the current administration, but I do totally thank you for participating and understanding my sense of humor and also the way that I'm dealing with what I consider a very tragic situation here in the United States. So again, I want you to know how much I love and appreciate you, respect you, and I still do want to have a show together. I will be watching tomorrow. So happy to see two ladies behind him tomorrow. No problem. You're amazing. Okay, so before I go on to that community thing, I'm going to add on a little to the mask part with the CDC, with what I'm calling the the virtue signaling mask shame chart. I don't even know if you guys can see this. I can't actually see it from here. I have to. Hopefully, we don't jack up my stuff by trying to pull this up in a bigger format. Hold on. I want to be able to read it while I'm talking to you. Okay, put a 3 in the chat box if you guys can read that because I don't know how big it is on your screen. Put a 3 in the chat box if you can read that. And at least we'll go with the color coding so you guys can see. The right side, just so you know, the first 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes are a person with no mask. Okay, it's all green. The whole right side is green, meaning safe or safest, right? But the only the first 4 boxes. This is for a fully vaccinated person on the far right there. Thanks, Sherry. A fully vaccinated person is only safe doing the first 4 things. The rest of the ones, they have to wear a mask still. And I'm sorry, but this is funny to me because, again, what we just talked about, the CDC guidelines. But here, fully vaccinated people are now, again, remember, are allowed to run, walk, or bike outdoors with members of your household. You may not run outdoor or go bike riding or hiking with anyone that's not a member of your household. Again, doesn't make sense. Later on, we're allowed to be with people that aren't vaccinated. So anyway, it's just confusing, right? Number 2, everybody unvaccinated. By the way, unvaccinated people, if you can see on the far left, is also green with no mask. Unvaccinated people are allowed to run, walk, bike outdoors with members of their household. Unvaccinated people are allowed to attend small outdoor gatherings with fully vaccinated family and friends. So if the unvaccinated person, which is on the left, which is green with no mask, is allowed to go outdoor gatherings with fully vaccinated family and friends, so what we're saying is you're only allowed to have 1 unvaccinated person because 2 unvaccinated people would mean that you are with unvaccinated. Are you guys getting this? If you need a copy of it, let me know. I'm happy to send it to you. But literally, it's like a puzzle that no one could put together. So if I'm unvaccinated, as long as I'm the only one, which again makes no sense whatsoever, 1 unvaccinated person can be around vaccinated people, but 2 unvaccinated people cannot be around fully vaccinated people because then you're not on the chart anymore. You've missed the chart. No problem. I respect you. I was like you when Mr. Trump was in office. Now it's your turn to rant. Oh, you're so wonderful, Retta. Thank you so much. Okay, so now number 3. A mask, it's safe as long as you wear a mask if you're unvaccinated, but you can attend a small outdoor gathering with fully vaccinated and unvaccinated people. So if there's only 1 unvaccinated person, everybody can go mask free. If there are 2 unvaccinated people, all the unvaccinated people must wear a mask, but the vaccinated people don't. I can't even finish. This is nonsense. Yeah, right, Melody? Is this Common Core math? Like, I want to hit my head and go, are you freaking kidding me? This chart is hysterical. It goes on into the yellow zone, which is less safe. So the unvaccinated people, by the way, yeah, this is the last place in the whole chart. The first four are the only place even vaccinated people don't have to wear a mask. Unvaccinated people must wear masks everywhere except walking, running, or biking outdoors with members of their own family or attending small outdoor gatherings with fully vaccinated family and friends. But again, remember that just in the logic there, if you add another, an unvaccinated person, I'm going to try and see if I can show. I know it's so hilarious. I don't even know what to say. This right here, this is an unvaccinated person with no mask. Can you guys see my pointer or not? Because I'm not doing a screen share. Can you see my pointer or not? Make me wear a mask. Anyway, yeah, it keeps going on and on, but I'll go through a couple more and then I want to bring up this other topic really quick. So it's less safe for unvaccinated people to dine at outdoor restaurants with friends from multiple households. So apparently in this particular one, it doesn't matter if they're vaccinated or unvaccinated. As long as they're from multiple households, you're partially safe if you're unvaccinated, but you're completely safe without a mask if you're vaccinated. But yet you can't. Are you guys with me? I mean, this is nuts. It's less safe. It's least safe if you attend crowded outdoors events like a live performance parade or a sports event. So that's a red zone for an unvaccinated person. It's unvaccinated people are not safe visiting a barber or hair salon, and vaccinated people are safe, but they still must wear a mask. So again, these are the rest of the things. These are the things vaccinated people have to wear a mask doing. Attending crowded outdoor events like a live performance parade or sports event, visit a barber or hair salon. Again, vaccinated people must wear masks. Go to an uncrowded indoor shopping center or museum. Uncrowded, not crowded, uncrowded. An uncrowded indoor shopping center or museum, even if you're vaccinated, you must wear a mask. If you ride public transportation with limited occupancy, you still must wear a mask. Attend a small indoor gathering of fully vaccinated and unvaccinated people from multiple households. Everybody has to wear a mask. Go to an indoor movie theater. Everyone must wear a mask. Attend a full capacity worship service. Wear a mask. Sing in an indoor chorus. Hear that, people. Sing in an indoor chorus. Even if you're fully vaccinated, you must wear a mask. It's nuts. Eat in an indoor restaurant or bar, you must wear a mask. Even if you're vaccinated, participate in indoor high-intensity exercise class, wear a mask. Wait, really quick. Participate in an indoor high-intensity exercise class, everybody's supposed to wear a mask. Okay, people, that's nuts. Let's see. Common question. Nearly half of Republicans say they don't want a COVID vaccine. Why is that? Even Trump got his vaccine, but secretly. I'm not getting a vaccine shot, Retta. I have no intention of getting that shot. It is not a vaccine. It is an experimental treatment. We are the experiment. Usually they do 2 years of testing. I don't want to be the test subject for that. I really don't. And with a 99% survival rate, I'd rather see if I get it. And I'm immune compromised. There's just absolutely no way, unless someone holds me down, puts chloroform over my face and sticks a needle in my arm, am I getting that vaccine. Why don't other people want to get it? I couldn't say, except for I don't think they believe that they are being duped as well. People don't want to be experiments. Experiments are done when people volunteer and they get paid and do different things, and that's their choice. I don't want to be an experiment, and I have seen too many people that have been injured, severely injured, paralyzed. There's just too much, and I'm not going to do it. I have no intention of doing it. Let's make it simple. Republicans can go anywhere, Democrats stay. But it's okay for me to be at work every day and I'm not vaccinated. See, Dale, that's exactly right. So it's just like I said, there's it has no rhyme or reason, Red. I think that's what it is, and that's why it's so humorous. It's really not funny at all. It's just there's no other way to process the insanity of it all. When you put in such ridiculous things. I mean, have you ever heard of another vaccine that required you to wear a mask? No. And have you ever heard of a disease or a virus that had over a 99% success rate or survival rate for most people? And the people that didn't all had comorbidities. They all had underlying conditions that were that identified the problem. And if you're since Red, I know you read the CDC guidelines. Did you read their new updated things about how they adjusted all their figures and how low the actual COVID deaths are? Because originally they were reporting people who were actually on hospice care. If they died and they put in the they had a week to live. One person, I think they said he would live no more than 72 hours. He died. They added it as a COVID death because apparently there was, he did, well, I don't even know if he did test positive. They said he tested positive. And so they marked him as a COVID death. That's not a COVID death. I mean, if something accelerates a little bit, you're on hospice care. I think you have no longer than 90 days to live. Does that mean that your life, that other 90 days was not valuable? No. But what it does mean is that to try and identify the mass deaths across the country and across the world and overinflate them by such incredible numbers is wrong, because it does change the public opinion and makes it feel more like, the Black Plague, makes it just changes it. Let's see. Coronavirus. Yes, we were just talking about those guidelines. I don't know if the chart that I went over is there, but anybody who wants it, I did see. And if those of you who are friends with me on Facebook, send me a message in Messenger. That way, I'll remember to do it right after I was done. I don't believe it is any of Greta's business. I don't feel duped. Who is that said they don't think it's Greta's business, and who is it that said I don't feel duped? What is the new numbers? Do you know? Oh, Dale, I did have that chart last week. I had a video. Somebody did OAN News did the thing on it. If you go to OAN News and look for it, you'll see they did a whole report on it. It was pretty amazing. Sherry, thanks for the high five award, my friend. I really appreciate it. Retta says, just read a report that some Republicans won't attend tomorrow's Biden address to Congress. You know what? I think that is sad, and I think it's juvenile, just like what honestly, the Democrats started all that nonsense, or at least from what I saw. I mean, putting their own faces up and not attending different hearings and different things. It's childish. It's all childish. Nancy Pelosi ripping up the State of the Union address. That's childish. The Republicans not showing up is childish as well. I don't know. I don't know why they're not going, if it's an actual boycott, or they're saying, because I know I heard Lindsey Graham say that he felt like they were pushing them because they were trying to railroad and ramrod this agenda down the people's throats. And the reason that they aren't attending some things, I don't know if it's this tomorrow, I don't think it's this, but the reason they're not going to attend is because they refuse to let them have a quorum, because what they're trying to do with the court packing and what they're trying to do with making DC a state, they're just trying to stay in power. And I mean, I think you can probably see that it's an absolute power grab, that this is not the agenda or the platform that the current administration ran on. I mean, granted, they flip-flopped all over the place, and they did say they were going to do all these things, but then they said they weren't going to do these things, and actually made the American people think they weren't going to do these things, even though most of us knew that he was going to flip-flop right back where he started. We all knew, or people that are being more diligent with research and watching what the administration is doing knew that this is what he was going to do. But he's doing it, and people are getting really upset because it's not right. I mean, even their own sacred, Ruth Bader Ginsburg said packing the Supreme Court is the wrong thing to do. The Democrats tried to do it in the past, and even their own party said, no, let's not do this. This isn't right. That's, long time ago. I can't remember who that was trying to do it. I'll have to pull that information up. But they are trying to, it's a power grab, and it's a big power grab, and it's on its way to working. So if the representatives don't show up and they cannot get a quorum, then they will put a stay on some of these again. ridiculous things that they're trying to push through, because it is a power grab. Let's see. To be told that a vaccinated person must wear a mask does not boost confidence in the efficacy or safety of this unapproved vaccine. I 100% agree. Whoever that said that, Facebook user. Democratic lawmakers attended every Trump's union address, Vicky. Well, Retta, they did not attend a lot of stuff. I'll send. Did you not see the videos? Don't you remember when they all had life-size heads of themselves put in their chairs, and they refused to show up for some of the hearings and some of the things that were going on, and refused to stand, refused to support the president in anything he did. The Democrats absolutely set a precedent there that they were not going to I mean, watch the State of the Union again. That was a pathetic. That was awful. I mean, that was awful. They wouldn't even applaud for, well, I won't get off onto a tangent, but they pulled some pretty juvenile stuff, in my personal opinion. Like I said, putting life-size figureheads of themselves around the room and not showing up is incredibly juvenile. Like I said, not showing up is one thing. Deliberately putting a figurehead in the place of it is really juvenile. Ed said it's not Greta's business. It's not anyone's business if people choose or not to choose to get this unapproved vaccine. I absolutely agree. If so, I so need a Fitch slap. Just saying. James, you got it, brother. There you go. For those of you who are new to my broadcast and don't know what a Fitch slap is, remember, a Fitch slap is a public service. It only comes out when necessary. It's always done in love, and it's used to redirect the course of someone who's gone astray. So, for instance, if you said, "I'm not good enough, no one will take me seriously," we give you a Fitch slap, redirect you, and say, "You are enough just the way you are," and we help you on your way. So, sometimes a little Fitch slap is needed. Please don't Fitch slap me. Okay, Red, I will not Fitch slap you. James, it's good to see you guys. By the way, if you haven't hit the share button, please hit that share button. And if you guys have been accumulating those amazing coins over here on Haps, you get 100 every day, and then you get a 200 the second day. Every day you actually just log in, they give you free coins, and you can use those coins to reward. And thank you for the high five award. I appreciate it. Retta, I appreciate you. You can use them to support your favorite broadcasters, like Retta, for instance. Joanne Pham's a great one. I don't know if any of the rest of you guys are actually doing broadcasts. Please let me know. I've been busy. Many of you guys know we have a dear friend was with us for a little bit while, and he's been in the hospital. He's coming back to stay with us here. He has stage 4 cancer, and we are trying to make the ready. We're praying that everything goes well, but we're concerned about him. And Rodster, if you are watching, you better kick cancer's butt, dude, because we got lots of big plans, but we're trying to make sure that we get everything in order here and, get everything organized and stuff so we can have him convalesce here on the lake and try and get himself better. Okay, so let's see here. Retta, did you ever go? There you go, Dale. Ask him again. Retta, did you ever go there? I do want to know if you've ever gone there and watched those videos. I really do want to know that. And thank you again. 2 high five awards. Retta, I feel so honored, my friend. James says, I'm the rock star of organization. Boom. Yes, been streaming lately here on Haps, my walks, beach, and hopefully travel soon. Yes, I saw a piece, but honestly, I've been moving at the speed of light lately, and when I log into my feed, I see some of your stuff. I've seen it after you've done it, so I haven't popped in, but I do understand that we are allowed to actually send some of our high fives and stuff. I think it has less impact when the person's not doing it live, but I bet they don't. I bet it's just fine, just the way it is. Yeah, sending love and light to him. Amen. Thank you, James. Appreciate that. Hey, from Southeast Coastal Georgia, Alexis, welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for being here. And James, thank you for the Appreciate Award. I appreciate that. Yes, your favorite online cook. I know. Alexis, do you have recipes for cancer, someone who has cancer, on how we can cook for him in a healthy way? We got to support him. I know he's on a soft diet, and of course we're trying to help his body heal. If you have some recipes, let me know. Love to check that out. Oh, Retta, thank you so much. Retta gave me a super heart and a stay safe award. Man, Retta is thebomb.com. All right, so coming back to here now, we were talking about community, right? And we're talking about masks, more mask madness. By the way, if you guys didn't know, because I've been mentioning, the mask, what I call the masquerade. I sent you a mask, Vicky. Retta, you could send me a mask, and if it was cute, I'd put it on for about 5 seconds on the air for you because I love you, but I promise you it would not get a lot of use. I do tend to, you started your pinball list, great, Dale. I tend to, if I'm going into a grocery store, this is the truth, I'm being honest, I will stick it on my ear like an earring, and I walk in because I'm always doing something on my phone or whatever, and nobody ever says anything to me. If they did, I would wrap it around my chin, but other than that, they don't. I just leave it hanging on my ear like an earring. That's the truth. I'm being honest. I'm just calling it like it is. Okay, so the great quick update. I looked and searched today on the great masquerade. The $1 billion mask deal from our buddy here, Nutty Newsom. Who, by the way, did you guys notice that Caitlyn Jenner is going to want, because we did, by the way, get enough signatures to put it on the ballot to recall Nutty Newsom. Whoop, whoop. I mean, I have to tell you, if you live here in California, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The man is a one pen tirade, just like EO Joe, but that's a whole nother thing. But now Caitlyn Jenner has decided to throw her hat in the ring. I still remember Bruce Jenner on my Wheaties box, and it's really, really tough for me to see Caitlyn Jenner and think of Bruce Jenner. Like I don't know. I just have this hard time. Now I don't know. I remember that when we brought in Schwarzenegger, he was not, we brought him in because he was filling in for another recall of Gray Davis, if I remember correctly. And so he threw his hat in the ring, and because of the other options that were available, if you guys have only seen some of the people that have decided they're going to run for governor, I mean, again, I don't know much about Caitlyn Jenner's political stance or point of view, but when we bring in people that have no experience, yes, exactly, Melanie. We bring in people that have no experience, we're probably going to get more of what we got. Now, I like to think, when we brought in Mr. T here as president, he had business experience, and the country is a business. I mean, it is. It's supposed to. We have to look out for our country's best interests so our country can continue to protect us, right? And so we had a lot of hope for that, and I personally think that went pretty well. I mean, if we could have if we could have rounded the edges on the tweets and toned down a few things, I think it would have been even better. But again, that's just my personal opinion. But when we look at this, so if we're going to put people in that are professional athletes turned, what would we say, like reality TV star kind of, even though he wasn't really in a lot of the episodes or whatever. I don't know that that's really got what we need in order to run this state better. And honestly, I mean, I'm going to be perfectly honest, and this is not me being judgmental or disrespectful, but I don't know how people will, especially in the middle of a recall, right? This is not a general election where people have got a couple years to start identifying their platforms and what what they stand for. You're talking about a special election where somebody pops in, and now how are the people that are in the midst of these things going to react to, again, someone with no experience? Like when we brought in Schwarzenegger, he's popular because people know who he is, but let's face it, he didn't have a platform either. I mean, there was one there somewhere, and it was, a Demopublican kind of format that it ended up being. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I don't want to. I won't dive into that topic tonight because we'll never stop. I'm so excited you started your pinball list, Dale, because I want that list, right? And like I said, the $1 billion mask deal, there was an update last week. It wasn't very big. January was the last update. And again, from June of last year until January of this year, I can't find anything. I did a search for maybe about 40 minutes and didn't find anything. January 12th, I think there was an update. And then they updated that update on, let me see, that one's from May. I'm pulling my my list from Judicial Watch. There's a Judicial Watch article from January 5th, 2021 that says, and this I thought was interesting, Judicial Watch uncovers documents behind $1 billion mask deal between California and Chinese Communist Party linked company, right? So BYD has been linked with the Chinese Communist Party. Oops, I shouldn't be saying that. I'm getting back in the schnitzel box again. But also, Judicial Watch had another article that came out that says, actually, it wasn't Judicial Watch. This one was CBS Los Angeles, right? KCAL 9. Coronavirus, DOJ investigates California's $500 million mask deal that was suspected to be fraud. That was on May 7th of 2020. So we think there's fraud. We've got it connected to the CCP. And let's see, here it is a year later, and we still don't have the masks. Does anybody see this math here? We don't have the masks. There was a credit back of $247 million. That's not even the interest payment on the $1 billion that we shelled out. So anyway, that should be on the pinball list, right? Okay. Yes, I remember Leslie, and I will, you know what? I will go find her, Alexis. You're right. I do know Leslie, and I will have to do that. Let's see. Yes, Caitlyn Jenner is running for governor. She's a Republican. She may be. Like I said, we also had Schwarzenegger that said he was a Republican, and his little, yeah, I would not call what he did as governor Republican. I would call it Demopublican. James, thank you so much for subscribing. You mean Bruce Jenner? I do, Melanie. Dr. Peter Navarro said he's thinking of running for governor of California. I know Larry Elder was asked about running for governor, and he said no, but I don't know if it's a no, not now, or a no, not ever. I also know Major Williams is running for governor. I don't know that much about him yet, so I got to do some research. Let's see. We need to up your views because your opinion is very important. Just saying. Well, thank you, James. I would love for you guys to do that. Like I said, I'm always in the schnitzel box. So if you guys hit that share button and make sure you come at 6 o'clock every day, that would be awesome. Retta says, but Vicky, if Caitlyn Jenner is running against Gavin Newsom, then Republicans in California will vote for Caitlyn, if I may be correct. No, Newsom can't run. He can't run. Okay. I could have this wrong. Retta, it's a really good question. From what I understand, the recall is going to go through. Someone's going to take him. Well, no, that's not true. What happens is now it goes on the ballot. The ballot, it'll be a single ballot that will say, do you want to recall Governor Newsom? Yes or no? And if you choose yes, you have to pick one of the candidates below, from what I understand. Because I remember I did some research on this a while ago, and there was differing opinions on how it went. But it's supposed to be a single ballot. Yes or no, you want Newsom. So you're not voting for him. You're just, if you don't want to vote him out of office, then you can say no. But you have a choice, yes or no. And if the answer is yes, I want him out, who do I pick to take his place? And whoever has the most votes is the one that takes over for him. That's what I understand. I will get some more research done on that to make sure, but that's what I understand. So she wouldn't be running against him. She would be taking his place because she's not, this is called a special election. It's not an election. It's a special election for the recall. So now the 2 million, there was 2.1 million people that said they want to recall Gavin Newsom. When they went through their things, I think they stopped when they hit the mark because they were at 1.6 million verified signatures, and I think they only need 1.4. They may be continuing to still, because I don't think there was 3 million signatures or 2 point something million signatures that were, or not. Yeah, no, not 2 million. 200,000 signatures or what. Anyway, I don't know. I'm getting my numbers goofed up, but I don't think there was that many that were thrown out. I don't think they had finished yet. So it's not voting against one. It's not an election like, or do you want one of these two people? It is a special election, and now you have to pick. Here's your, if you want a Republican or a Democrat choice, and maybe let's say Caitlyn Jenner was the only option. If nobody else threw their hat in the ring, if you choose to get rid of Newsom and there was only one other person available, then you would it would be that person by default. You'd have to check that box and be that person by default, assuming there was enough people that were recalling him. Hopefully that made sense. Leadership experience needed, political experience is not. Barbara. You know what? That's a good point, Barbara. I would agree with that, but I guess I would be a little bit concerned because I have a lot of leadership experience and running a lot of small businesses. I've never run an entire nation because let's face it, with the amount of people that California has, it's got a larger GOP than our GPD than did I say that right? No, gross national product, right? Anyway, we do more business and we sell more stuff than small nations across the world. So we have to be, I think we need somebody that's maybe has a little bit of experience. I don't know. I mean, like I said, we've had some really crappy people that have taken over. So I think that there's an opportunity for someone with leadership skills, and I think integrity needs to be the number one thing because we can see that people will, just because it's human nature, will try and bribe them or try and coerce them or try and blackmail them. I mean, we've seen a lot of that stuff come up, which is super sad and disheartening because good people don't want to run for politics anymore because they're going to get slammed and their whole family is going to get pulled through the ringer. His platform was to pump you up. Oh, thanks, James. Let's see. Dale said hello. Oh, Dale. Oh, sorry. Let's say no. I wish everyone would just focus on Hunter and Joe and play before the balls go down the drain. Well, you know what? But did you see the National Enquirer actually did a story on it? And somebody posted, my goodness gracious, we are really falling really low when we have to wait for the National Enquirer to bring out the story. Not that they couldn't post good news, but I mean, all the time I was growing up, those were usually the overemphasized stories that I almost wonder if that wasn't part of their plan to throw it into the Inquirer so people then will really disregard it because that's kind of the way a lot of people have seen that. They call it a rag, and don't take the news in there seriously, although there's a lot of support and a lot of evidence that the Hunter Biden story is real. And well, I mean, tons of it. You're correct on the ballot from what I've heard also. Thanks, Barbara. There is over 20 people already putting their name on the ballot. I heard there were some, but I don't know. And they have to do that whole process and they have to get it in and so we'll see who it is. But I heard some interesting people were doing it. There was another porn star and I can't remember, but it's not what I would call the most brilliant minds and people that have been focused on the political, arena for some time, and so it's a little bit scary there. You're welcome, Retta. Hello from Christi. I can never get it right. Corpus Christi. Hey, Lorenzo. Welcome, welcome. Retta says, how proud are you to see two powerful ladies of your state, VP and Speaker of the House, behind the president tomorrow? Retta, do you really want me to answer that? Do you really want me to answer it? I'm not proud of either of those ladies, and that's the truth. I mean, how I'm going to be honest because you asked, right? I'm not proud. It's got nothing to do with them being ladies. I think having women in politics is amazing. I think when when NP tore up the State of the Union address, she set women in politics back 20 years or 30 years. I really do. I think that was immature and ridiculous. You don't have to agree with him, but just be respectful. I mean, they're both immature children. Nancy especially. I mean, seriously. And Kamala, how can I respect a woman that accused Joe Biden and said that it was his fault that she was the little girl who was getting segregated as a child, that she called him a racist and basically implied he was a rapist? And then in two weeks later or three or whatever, a month later, she's his running mate. And when she's asked about that, because I got to tell you, there's no way in the freaking world that if I believed a man was a rapist and a racist, that I would ever be his running mate, that I would ever support what he was doing, I would ever be on his ticket to encourage people to vote for someone who I felt was so low. Her answer was, it was a debate. That's what she said, literally. Just like that, with that weird, whiny, cackly yuck of a voice. So what does that mean? So that means she lied during the debate, or she used nasty tactics to try and insinuate someone was a rapist and a racist when they aren't? I have zero respect for her, like as in zero. The fact that she's not handling anything down at the border, I think is unbelievable. Telling us she's going to Guatemala, but she's not going down to the Mexican border. She's handing all these children her book about superheroes are everywhere. She's pandering to children and illegal immigrants, and I think it's horrible. I think it's horrible. I have zero respect for either of those ladies. There's lots of women in politics I do respect. Neither one of those. That's the truth. And I know you probably don't like that, but that's the truth. There is no runoff either. Most votes wins. Yes, Dale, that's what I thought. Vicky, you would be great as governor of California. Just saying. James, thank you for saying that. That's super kind. I'm sure I would no longer have red hair. I would be the white haired lady because I would be so stressed out. But I thank you so much for your kind words. Hello, young lady. Hope you're being blessed. Thank you, Lorenzo. I am. This is not a joke. You should run for governor of California. Think about it. Dale, I'm going to pass on that with a big pass, but thank you. I mean, honestly, those are kind words. Vicky for president. You guys are funny. I'm going to stick with something a little more local. How about that? Don't get me wrong. It's sad seeing ripping the paper. I would be upset if a Republican House Speaker tearing it up. I feel your pain. If a Republican does that, I'm going to be just as mortified and say, stop acting like children. This is, I remember when the current administration came in and they're like, oh, the adults are back in charge. Well, no, they're not. I mean, they are petulant children. And it's super sad. We have to raise the bar. We really need to raise the bar. And like I said, if we can find people with integrity, number one, right? Integrity, they can pull people with leadership skills around them. I mean, I remember Reagan. I really loved President Reagan. But he also didn't pretend he knew things he didn't, right? He surrounded himself with a bunch of really brilliant people and made the best decisions he could and used his integrity and his leadership skills to deliver the message. But he didn't pretend. He didn't try and pretend he was someone else. He thought what he thought. He said what he thought. He listened to what others thought. And then he evaluated what they said, weighed it with his own opinion, and then made his decisions. And that's the kind of leadership we need. So if someone like me, which I am not running for governor, but thank you again for that. If someone like me was running for governor, I have integrity. You can't buy my integrity. They could probably humiliate me. I'm sure there are things I did when I was a kid that, that people that would be embarrassing. I'm sure they could take something out of context and try and make me humiliated and do that. But I still have integrity. And I, as a Christian, have an audience of one that's Jesus Christ. So they're not going to rip me to shreds or get me to do illegal things to try and, so they won't expose, what I did when I was 12 or something, so that, and then coupling that with leadership and actually having good discernment and figuring out what people around you can trust, because our government here in California has to be ripe with, with not so great people. I mean, honestly, because even his own cabinet was questioning the $1 billion mask deal. But why is there no whistleblower there that has enough integrity to say, hey, this is fraud? Because if we still hear a year later, $1 billion of our money went instead of to the California or the US economy, we infused China's economy with $1 billion and never got our product. We don't have the interest, we don't have the money back, we don't have the product. That sounds like fraud, or it sounds like some kind of money laundering scheme, or at the very least, a place for them to be taking. I mean, because there's a lot of interest that accrues in $1 billion. The first down payment was $675 million. So think about what the interest on that is per month. That's a lot of money and went in someone's pocket, and the money still hasn't come back from what I understand. If it has, I don't know why any media outlet wouldn't have reported on that either. So why are we having, Judicial Watch is the only one that's updating what's happening. They finally did get the 848-page document that's got some really interesting things. If you guys hadn't followed what had happened, where they had a deal with some legislators on the East Coast, and then somebody nixed it and said, this company only started business 2 days ago. And then they rerouted it and ended up with the BYD. There's a lot of things that it sure sounds like somebody needs to go to jail. And like I said, hopefully Judicial Watch and the reporters that are actually trying to do something will unravel it. But why there aren't more reporters reporting on it is beyond me, because that's a pretty big deal. And especially with the recall efforts. I mean, can you imagine who's trying to suppress this information because they don't want the recall to go through and they don't want the rest of the stuff to go through? So, it's something to think about. Um, Let's see. Yes, I would be honored if Vicky runs for president. I will vote for Retta. You're a sweetheart. Thank you for saying that, my kind friend. James says, because she is a money hoe and the cabal has control over her. Bottom line is, this is between good and evil, and we all know God wins in the end. You know what, James? I 100% agree with you that there is a battle of good and evil going on for sure. We need you and Mr. T working together. Dale, I'm definitely working with Mr. T, just not as closely as that, but I'm here. And now Vicky for Congress for California. There you go. Well, you guys, I appreciate that support. Reagan, I wasn't even in my mama's womb, I think you meant. Way before my time. Reagan actually beat Mondale. Mondale just passed a few days ago. Retta, Reaganomics, if you ever do any research on politics, Reaganomics were the most powerful thing. And you should probably check it out, because never until Mr. T did I see support in this country like I did for Reagan. Reagan had people of both parties actually waving flags out in the streets for him. Now, granted, he was a movie star, so he had he had that bridge, but it was his policies that really made him an excellent president. I found him to be an amazing president. Because the media is in on the crime. James, I cannot disagree with you. Retta says, Miss Vicky, what news network do you watch in your household? I compare and watch all bit from bit. I do. I actually watch a lot of conservative talk radio because I can get little pieces, but then I watch some stuff on OAN. I'll watch pieces on Newsmax. I like to watch bits from Ben Shapiro because, again, Ben will take clips from other things, and then I'll go and watch the actual whole clip. But I get to see, pieces that I didn't maybe know different news pieces were going on. I'll get to see those pieces, and then I'll go watch the clips. I like to watch C-SPAN whenever the hearings and stuff are going on, so I can actually see everything instead of the clips. I'll also watch Fox, and then I watch some of the other networks, but I feel like I can't find any reporting anymore. They're so op-ed, everything. There's no journalistic reporting anymore, and so like when you watch people like Don Lemon and Cuomo on there, they're just pandering to the audience, and like I don't know, I can't. It's hard to stomach. I'll watch it just so I have something to balance the piece out, but then to show, because they'll show a clip they take totally out of context, and that's why when you watch the whole clip, then you're just completely you're completely frustrated that they take something that obviously does not mean what they suggest it does and totally change it. And I don't know if you've watched that, but do me that favor, and I'll even try and give you some instances when I see them come up where they take a clip out of something totally out of context, like they did with Governor DeSantis, and trying to pretend that he was ignoring the reporter. They took that clip. I don't know if you saw it. I shared it out on my feed, but they tried to make it sound like he ignored her. He answered her 4 times, directed her to the answer to her questions over and over and over. And then when she asked, he's like, "I've already answered that." And they cut out the whole middle section that made it sound like he was totally ignoring her and lied. And it's difficult for me. Some comment was hidden. Let's see. It says crazy Cam. Somehow, Pepe, they decided that this was vulgar. Someone said it was vulgar. Crazy Cam not have a drop of integrity. She pretends she cares about blacks, but she intensely charged drug violations to imprison blacks, and that did what she did when she was younger and bragged about it. Let's see. She did do some of that. I watched some of those clips as well, and they were disappointing. And I think that that's the problem, is that she is a bit full of herself. She's trying to, her value. She thinks she's all that in a bag of chips, and that's the problem. Is that it's not about serving; it's about her. to me, serving is getting down and dirty and grubby and figuring out what needs to change and then helping make the change, not identifying what's wrong. I don't know. I don't know if I would make a good politician because I'm not a good brown noser. I am a person that's honest, and I will listen, and I listen to other people's information. I balance that out with what I know and try and make the best decisions I can that are the best for the people. But, the media perpetrates the crimes. I cannot disagree with that. I really can't. They are horrific, and it's sad. Melanie, do you follow Wendy Bell on Facebook? I do not. I don't know who that is. She's a radio broadcaster in Pennsylvania that also goes live on Facebook in the morning. Send me a link to her, Mel. I'll check her out. Lorenzo said, amen. James said, Vicky, you are amazing and I love your energy. Just remember, this is just a show to wake people up. Disclosure is coming soon, and I will have open arms and no judgment for all that realize the truth. Amen to that, James. I'm the same way, because we don't know what we don't know until we know it, and that's why we can't be judgmental, which is why it's really even though the show's almost over, I do want to talk about this clip from this other thing. I'm going to read the last comment, and then I'm going to go there. Newsmax or OAN are not really mainstream. I know they're not mainstream because the mainstream media, the only mainstream is Fox, that has some, they have some conservative approach and not just so absolute left wing. I wonder if those both are in the White House. I don't know. I can't say for sure. Never heard of those two until Trump became president. That's because they're not mainstream media. They're smaller organizations. Hello from Newport Beach, Bobby. Welcome. Thanks for subscribing. I appreciate that, my friend. But you should check them out anyway, because now they're some of them are pulling in a little bit more of a conservative slant because there's no opposition. They're just blowing people away with the rhetoric, Retta. Honestly, like I said, I'll try and find some clips and stuff to send you. I think that because, like I said, I think you're a logical person. Hey, Beth, welcome to the broadcast. Yes, well, thank you, my friend. It's so good to see you, Beth. I gotta check out some of your workout stuff, girl, because man, the COVID-15 or the quarantine 15 is not making me feel good. You're welcome. Okay, so really quick, last thing before we go today. Thanks for the high five award, Beth. I really appreciate it. And if you guys are not subscribers, please subscribe to the channel. If you're on other platforms, please subscribe there too, and come over to haps.tv/invite/ Vicky Fitch, VICKIFITCH. Let's see. You are not alone. Thank you, my friend. I'm not alone with getting squishy. Okay, so the last thing I want to bring up today is put a 4 in the chat box if you guys actually saw the video clip, which this is one of the most horrific things I've ever seen. Like, that shows the absolute immaturity of people to relish in other people's pain. Right? I mean, honestly, it's horrible. I shared it out on my Facebook page. So if you guys are there, I shared it on my profile. I don't think I shared it to my page. And many of you guys know I have a child on the spectrum, and so I'm very aware of what overwhelm looks like. This gentleman, he's a boy. I don't know how old he is, but to me, he's a boy, and he was handling something behind the counter, and the person behind the counter was videotaping him, and he lost it. He totally lost it. And again, in people on the spectrum, Asperger's is what my family has. Hitting yourself in the head is something that happens when pure overwhelm kicks in. So not only did he start smacking himself in the head incredibly hard, he started ramming his head into the computer screen. Now you could see that he was visibly distressed and distraught. And instead of stopping to say, hey, are you okay? He continues to mock him, manipulate him. And then this kid says, you've ruined my whole life, and walks off. And yet now I don't blame the person for not understanding that overreaction, that emotional overreaction from the boy. Okay. Because if you don't have a kid with Asperger's, or if you don't have a person in your life that's on the spectrum, it wouldn't be as easy to spot. But we should all have compassion for people, human beings. We are all part of the same race, the human race. And when you see someone's losing it, and when you see someone's completely overwhelmed, to video them and mock them is unthinkable. And so what we need to do as citizens and people is we need to step up, stand out, and speak. Now, I know you might not want to confront the person who's being a jerk, because that is being a jerk. You cannot, I've complained enough times at a hotel when things weren't right, but I didn't videotape someone and try and humiliate them, right? If it's not working out the way I want, we can ask to talk to a manager with dignity and respect. When we see someone, anyone in line that saw this poor child, and I'm calling him a child, I don't know. I'm going to say he's in his 20s. It's hard to see from the video or exactly. It's so much was going on. I don't know how old he was. He could be 30, he could be 40. I don't care. Emotionally, at that moment, he was a much younger person. Someone in line should have said, "Hey, hey, are you okay? I see you're having a bad day. And you don't have to confront the person that did it, but say, "I'm so sorry that happened. Is there anything I can do to help?" Now, if you know anything about Aspies, they don't want you to touch them, right? Hugging them and stuff, that would just like make them come unglued. But we can ask a question. That question can start to diffuse because it disrupts their thinking, right? Are you okay? Are you okay? I'm so sorry that happened to you. It doesn't matter from a distance. But my point is, none of us should accept such unacceptable behavior. If you're the one taping and you realize, oh my gosh, I'm being a butthead, because, we've all been buttheads before. We may not have realized it. And then all of a sudden, it kind of, we did get our own little Fitch slap and realize, oh my gosh, this is completely wrong. And I need to change what I'm doing. It's okay to recognize that you need to change your behavior. It's okay for us not to ridicule the person that made the mistake in the first place or the person that's humiliated, but we do need to step up, stand out, and speak. We need to start supporting each other. We need to act like a community. We need to act like we're all part of the same race. We are. We are part of the human race, and we should care about each other. We should treat each other with dignity and respect. We should see someone that's hurting and want to make it better and not want to make it worse and not want to get our 5 minutes of fame with a video. And because it wasn't that guy, I don't think, that posted. Hopefully he didn't post it, because that will just make me even more sad. But then a reporter got it and he posted it and it went viral. And like, I don't know, 2 million, 7 million views. But that kid, that person, the one that was humiliated, the one that can't quite see the forest through the trees, they could become suicidal. And I'm telling you that because it's true. Some people, when they're emotionally overwhelmed, cannot process, and it feels like the world's caving in on them. So, can we all just recognize the value of other people, of human beings, and treat them kindly? Treat them with respect, even when they lose it. Because I've had some bad days, I've lost it a couple of times. I've had bad stuff happen when I lost my parents. None of us are perfect, and we definitely need a friend. We need people that treat us like we're worth something. And to watch those videos, and we've got to stop, people. We have to stop allowing people, and imagery, and the 5 minutes of because your life is on camera to be that. If you videoed that and you were live streaming it, delete it. Take it down. Let that poor kid have some dignity. I mean, my goodness gracious, would you want your absolute worst moment, on camera for every person in the world to see? Of course not. Now, you might be able to handle it better. But again, we're all part of the same race. It's the human race. We need to just raise the bar on the way we treat people. Raise the bar. I'm going to go over here and read it. And I'm sorry I got so emotional, but seriously, we've got to do better, people. We have to do better. High five award. Thank you, Beth. I appreciate that. Yeah, yeah, we are not alone. When are you going to invite people on your show and have fun? You know what? We will. Probably maybe next week. I'm trying to get all this stuff for Rod to come in and stay. I'm trying, and so preparing with another person is a little bit different. And like I said, I love to have some fun. I love to do that. I may have some new masks to show you. Thanks. Hey Beth, we're electing Vicky for president. Yes, apparently I'm president or Congress or the governor of California. I have to go, but I wish you health and success. Pepe, thank you. What about Governor of California? Better than Caitlyn Jenner. Thanks, Beth. Sherry, thank you for the super hard award. We are all connected, so if you hate on someone, you're just hating on yourself. People, please know that and spread love, not hate. Amen to that, James. You'd make a great public servant, but sadly, the current gang in the House are misrepresentatives who aren't interested in being public servants. Pepe, exactly. That's the problem. We need to find people with integrity who are looking to serve. I requested Congress for California. Thanks, Lorenzo. Hugs to you, my friend. Hope you can treat me with kindness, even I am on the other side of the aisle. Retta, I don't have a problem with you being over there. I enjoy our conversations. And again, I will always treat you with kindness. I have no malice in my heart for you. I adore you, no matter what side you're on. Kim, thank you for the high five award. I appreciate you guys. Okay, so we're 9 minutes over, guys. I have to show you a video of Piano Guy's Gonna Be Okay. It was such an emotional and together video watching. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, share it with me, Red. I'd love to see it. Guys, I appreciate you. I'm going to send that chart to those of you who asked. I think it was Melanie and Dale. You guys are going to send me messages on Facebook so I can send those out to you. I appreciate you guys being here. Apparently, Retta told me that EO Joe is going to be in front of Congress tomorrow at the same time I'm usually on my show. If that is correct, thanks, Melanie. If that's correct, then I will not do the show at that time because, we all need to see that. You won't do a recap of him, you mean, or of this? Are you talking about of him? Because what time is it at? Tell me what time it's at, because that my recap might be more of sarcasm, as you know, because I won't have time to dive into these. What time is it tomorrow, you guys? Do you know? Isn't Joe on Thursday? I don't know, Alexis. Retta was telling me it's tomorrow, so that's what we were trying to figure out. Hi, Sage. What's up? I haven't seen you forever. After show of the address, it will be tomorrow at 9 p.m. So it's 9 p.m. Eastern, which is 6 p.m. after show of the address. Okay. So wait, me or he is? He's at 9 p.m. tomorrow or I am? Retta, I'm confused. Me, Lorenzo. I like a chart. Lorenzo, are we friends on Facebook? Send me a message there. You could do a side-by-side commentary. But I would be rolling my eyes and I'd probably be doing some of this. Yes, primetime address, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Okay. So we're going to have to we won't do our thing tomorrow. Well, because I'm not going to go on it's probably an hour and a half plus commentary. So I probably won't be on tomorrow. But hey, do this. Watch for me and check it out just in case. It usually takes an hour and a half, right? 90 minutes. And then that would be 7:30 my time. It's possible. I don't know. I don't know, but I will be watching. I should probably just video myself watching going, "Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?" That would be comical. I think you guys would probably laugh because my husband sits there and looks at me and I'll be like, "This is outrageous. Oh my gosh." And I'm just like, I'll be taking notes going, so definitely let's watch together. You know what? That might be fun. Miss Vicky, I'm on Facebook. Thank you, Lorenzo. Send me the message though, because I'll forget. We can watch together. Maybe we can. So how do we do that Facebook watch? Wait, or I know isn't it not it's I guess we can do a watch party, right? We can do a watch party. But I don't know who wants to be in it. I can't do a watch party from here, right? Does anybody know? Maybe we can figure that out. We'll take a watch for watch my Facebook profile tomorrow. I'll post something if I'm going to do it. I can do it from here, Retta. Do you know how? Well, why don't you do it then? Or tell me how to do it and I'll do it. Do from here. I don't know how. How can I do a watch party from here when all I can do is I can set it to the thing, but you'd have to go. Watch parties are what? DKNE. Done. I think maybe that's supposed to say done, or am I missing it? But how? Because to get a watch party when you're broadcasting through there, I guess the people then would have to go, but I can't see. I don't know. I'll try and process that, because when you hit the Facebook watch party, then you've got two different threads going where you can see what the people in the watch party are saying, and then you've got the other thread of the public thread. But okay, here you can go on YouTube. There will be live speech from there. Also, you can share your screen. I see. Okay, that would work. Maybe I'll do that. Okay, let me process that, but I could probably do that because we can C-SPAN will be sending it, so they won't have any commentators in there, and then we could do that, and that would be funny because I know use your laptop and phone as second device. Oh, I have my desktop and I have my phone, but like he's saying, I can share the screen, right? I can share the screen with YouTube. I don't know. I'll ask them. Yes, Miss Vicky, it goes right to all media outlets. Okay. I don't think it's copyright issue. Is it? I don't think so. Not on that stuff. It's public. That's the C-SPAN stuff is public. There's no music and stuff that's going there. Laptop for YouTube, share, and phone on you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna ask my girl Joanne. I'm sure she can help me get it done. Or if somebody wants to send me a message, that would be fun. But again, I get very animated. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I get very animated. My face tells a story all by itself. I may start hitting myself in the I'll be scribbling notes diligently, but I won't want to interrupt what's saying. I'll be like, kind of like, are you kidding me? I get animated too before I've got you, Retta. Okay, well, we'll check that out. I'll see if I can pull that off tomorrow, guys. That would be actually kind of funny. Although, yeah, right, James? Vicky animated. That would be crazy. Okay, if you haven't already, hit that share button, you guys. And if you haven't followed me here on Haps or whatever platform you're on, make sure you follow. And then head on over here to Haps. We'd like to have you here, and I'll attempt that tomorrow. As you guys know, yesterday, what are your reactions of animation? What are you reactions of animations? My reactions are, what do you mean? Are you being funny? My animated reactions, like I'll be listening to the speech and I'm not going to want to talk over him. So I'll just be going, what? So anyway, I'll look into that. I think it would be a lot of fun. Yeah, I think I think that could be a lot of fun. But yeah, it could be a lot of fun. All right, let me look into that for tomorrow. So look to be here at 6:00 for us to do this together. We are so happy to see you on Apps, James. Thank you. Type in your own comments to the chat while he's talking. Yes, I will. But you guys can't all see them, right? Only the people that are in Haps can see my comments, correct? But you never know. He may say good stuff tomorrow. Maybe you will agree tomorrow with everything. Yeah. Okay. I believe that Jesus is God and Lord on the throne and anything can happen. So I will leave it there, but I'm skeptical. I'm very skeptical, Retta. I'm very, very skeptical, my friend. Okay, guys, I appreciate that. And yes, I'm hoping this is for you, Retta. I'm hoping that I am able to Fitch slap him through the screen, knock some sense into the man, and have him get back on at least on his moderate what he campaigned on his moderate stuff without court packing, without all the stuff we've been talking about. Oh, Tessie, welcome to the broadcast. We're just about to end, but thank you for being here. So everyone join Haps with your link. Yes, guys, join Haps. Go to haps.TV/invite/at Vicky Fitch, VICKIFITCH. Come on over to Haps because you won't see my comments. All you're going to see is me mocking. Then I don't think anybody else is going to want to see it if they're not on Haps. Hope Joe's awake. Me too, Alexis. I really do. I really do. So you go live before 6. I always go live at 6 p.m. every day, Retta. 6 p.m. exactly on the dot is when I go live. I'm sorry I'm late. I'll catch the replay. Thanks, Tessie. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. They're trying to get me to do a side-by-side watching the EO Joe tomorrow night and do my own my own thing of what's going on. Okay, guys, I will see you guys tomorrow. Look forward to seeing you. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Oh, wait. Retta's saying wait. We got to find out what he's going to say. Now he's going to say, oh, it's not tomorrow after all. It is Thursday. Let's see. Well, while we're waiting for Retta to type in whatever else he's going to say, does anybody else have any questions? I had something funny I can show you really quick while we're waiting for that. This right here, this little thing right here, it runs on natural gas, a bike toilet thing. I just thought, hey, this could be a way to make money, you know, if the whole COVID thing comes back and people run out of toilet paper, you can run with your your bathroom and your toilet paper. Tomorrow's the eve of 100th day. Thursday's going to Georgia for his 100th. So you're saying he's not going on tomorrow, or he is, Rita? You're confusing me. You're confusing me. I know, right? Retta, you're confusing me. Oh my goodness. I still love you. Okay. Well, tune in tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific and we'll see what we're doing here. Whether I'm doing my regular show with my windblown hair. Actually, I promise to get my hair done tomorrow. Yes, he's going live tomorrow. The speech of 100. Thursday is the 100th day. Okay. All right. So we'll try this tomorrow and see how it goes. Or at least that's the plan right now. I have some other things tomorrow could push me to being late, but we'll see. But just tune in here tomorrow at 6 p.m. and we'll see what we got going on. It could be very funny. It really could. So anyway, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. And until next time, I want to remind you, like I always do, to dream it, believe it, and achieve it. Ciao.